2 games in a row thus far. It is BeastyQt. And he is actually ranked number 48 on the IPL rankings. Now, his opponent down in the bottom left-hand corner is ranked number, let's see here, 254 at the moment. Hailing from Team Prime, that is AnnYeong.
Yeah, AnnYeong has had some wins in the GSTL. There was, I believe it was the last match that he played, and he got 2 wins, actually.
Uh-huh. Oh, awesome.
So he's done pretty well from time to time in the team league. Other than that, he hasn't had a whole lot of experience out there. But we might see him move up after this one. We'll have to see. Annyeonghaseyo to any of our Korean viewers. The name reminds me of that. AnnYeong is a way to say hello in Korean. I believe it actually translates directly to peace. I think that's what that word means.
Oh,
I might be wrong. If there are any Koreans out here who can correct me, that'd be awesome.
There
but
you
if
go.
I'm right, tell me I'm right too. That's nice too.
We can go ask the fine lady down at Mana as well later, because now I am dying for
We've
some
got
Korean
an awesome
food,
little
so.
Korean restaurant like a couple blocks away from our apartment complex. It's really neat. I've decided to get an apartment in the same building.
We're going to have so many casters
neighbors
there. Yay!
Yeah.
We'll bring you over cake to celebrate your moving in.
I could use furniture more, but I like cake.
Oh, I'm too cheap to buy you furniture. Have more cake. All right.
Well, I might still... No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, not going to sit on it. So here we go. It looks like it might be a command center first from BeastyQt. I think that's pretty normal here, and we might see the Nexus. Well, actually, not a Nexus. A hatchery instead. First from AnnYeong.Prime.
That would be awesome if it was a Nexus first.
And
I would accuse him of cheating.
Yeah, I bet that drone's going to want to go do some damage to that SCV, and it's going to take a little while for the Protector SCV to get there. No, he was already on the way.
Yeah, but it's still going to do some damage right there. And sometimes you'll even see, okay, he just pulls it off the line, immediately starts with another SCV, and then the Protector SCV comes after that.
When this happens, I always feel like the SCV is pushing the drone around like a little shopping cart.
It kind of looks like that, too.
Me,
so, yeah. Flapping its little wings.
It's like, what do you want to shop for? Let's get some minerals.
we have a refinery coming up first before barracks now. But, yeah, so he's going to be accumulating quite a bit of gas very, very early on. I think that was in approximate timings as well, as if he had done that before Command Center, that he'd have that 100 gas just as the barracks is finished up. But we'll certainly see here in a second. His opponent, on the other hand, is actually looks like he's going to have a few speedlings out very quickly, put up gas before pool.
Yep, that's right. Wants to get that speed. On a map like this, you want to be able to scout everything as fast as you can, too. So not too surprising to see him do an opening like that as well. Get to get those 2 queens right away, too, which is kind of nice.
Oh, yeah, very much so. And he has just enough for that Zergling speed. There it is. 1 queen coming up as well. And Zerglings, and I promise you we'll have 150 and a second queen in a bit. There it is. Okay.
Yep.
So, now back.
I always love watching the players and kind of seeing what the order they decide to do that part of it in, because some people like to get the 2 queens right away, then speed, then lings. Some people, like we just saw, got 1 queen, speed, then lings, then queen. It's kind of interesting to see little preferences of the different players, at least for a StarCraft 2 nerd like me anyway.
Well, you know, it kind of goes into what you mentioned as well. You know, prevailing wisdom there in Korea is to do an extractor trick versus just a straight-up 9 Overlord, because it doesn't necessarily benefit you anything. It's just they like taxing their APM a little bit more to warm up.
There's a lot of preference things in StarCraft 2 as well that don't necessarily make a gigantic impact into the game. You know, it might cost you a few minerals here and there, but not a huge deal. Reactor Hellions on the way there for BeastyQt, putting the reactor on the barracks. So inevitably, we're probably going to see that get switched over.
And yeah, I would imagine so as well.
Yeah.
See if he produces anything out of that. No, it looks like he's just going to wait for the reactor. So up at the front, he has 1 Marine who went to town on the supply depot for a while, then decided, no, I'm tired of that, and took a much easier road in life. Zergling swinging around the outside there, and we'll see how quickly AnnYeong decides to tech up. If he's going to do a Leenock approach and just go for a bunch of gas off of 1 base, or if he's eventually going to try to expand to a 3rd beforehand.
Yeah, well, he's not seeing a reason to do anything like a Roach Warren quite yet. Oh, and the SCV actually gets in to take a look at things. He's going to be looking for things like that really early Roach Warren, a really early 2nd gas. Yep, and so he gets his info and then dies. But that's just how it is. That's the SCV life.
It's a hard knock life for him.
That's right. They have that pumping through their suits like 24/7.
And it is, though. It's
a rough life, man. I mean, you try to build buildings and probes are like zapping you.
Oh, no. Zerglings making their way through.
Uh-oh.
Only one has fallen so far, and that's
Whoops.
not just going to be a perfect scout, but it's also going to be a lot of dead SCVs.
Yeah, he's going to kill 2 already. Looks like that might be it. Might try to focus down a few more here, but the Hellions are going to pop out of the factory in just a moment.
Ooh, he's got
Chase
4
those away.
already.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, very
Nice
well
little
done.
poke there from our Zerg player.
And is he going to back away? No, he's going to try and get a 5th SEV as well. And I don't think that he's going to get that one, unfortunately. But he did kill a few workers. He got a perfect scout. He disrupted his opponent's timings. Very, very nice run by there.
Yeah, AnnYeong.Prime is definitely one of those Zergs that likes to try to do little tiny bits of damage here and there. You know, he's always, if you watch this guy, he's always looking for those little chances to run some Zerglings by, you know, or to flank and cut off a few units and kill them.
Okay.
And that's a great quality to have as a Zerg player, you know?
Sure.
I mean, the little chunks you can take off of the Terran forces here and there throughout the game are going to make that last big fight a lot easier for you. So, yeah, it's an important thing that a lot of people overlook.
And 3rd hatchery coming out now for AnnYeong as he's deciding that he wanted to stay off of a ton of gas, just off of 2 base. He is now operating on quad gas with a Roach Warren and Lair coming up with actually a ton of upgrades as well. But wanted to invest in that next hatchery. It's going to take a while before enough Zerglings get out to be able to neutralize those Hellions. So they will actually be able, despite the fact that it takes Hellions about a year and a half to kill a hatchery, they will do some damage.
What do you think that drone on the inside building this is thinking right now? He's like, all right,
Stop
what's
it.
going on out
Stop
there?
It. Stop it.
Why is nobody doing anything about this? This could be serious.
I don't have my my connection to the Overmind established quite yet. It's a little scared.
Yep.
All right.
Swimming in circles, just freaked out. Yeah. So going
just
for
said anyway. Those are mad circles, though, not happy circles.
Yeah, going for some ground upgrades too here. Carapace
Yeah.
is obviously going to benefit the Roaches, but the melee attack is only going to benefit the Zerglings. So
Right.
looks like he's going to be wanting to move into a style of it. Oh, is he going to get any Hellions? It's a very small group to attack with, but he had to do something to save that hatchery.
Yeah, and he intentionally sat those Zerglings up to get destroyed because he had them positioned around the outside and ran up with the Roach first. So
How much health is that hatchery? Not a lot.
475.
Only about a third right now. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and there's the infestation pit as well for AnnYeong.Prime. So he's going to move into that Ling Infester, possibly Ultra composition later in the game probably, but basically he's just going to get a lot of upgrades, get a lot of very powerful Zerglings, and try to just be very positional around the map, take a lot of bases, and try to use his speed with all those Zerglings to prevent his opponent from expanding as much as he would want to otherwise.
Yeah, that's certainly likely. And as a matter of fact, you can actually see, I think he dropped out the wrong unit there. He just dropped out one Hellion for another one there, but that's not what he meant to do. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He's trying to take his 3rd right now. If he gets that done at the moment, then and is able to secure that for any length of time, it's going to be a huge benefit to him. We do have a double drop coming in for him at the same time, though.
Yep. Oh, the SCV building the building got killed. That's sad.
Aww.
Or unless it was that one. Maybe it was that one. But here comes the drop. Some Marines, some Medevacs, some Hellions. Going to try to do some damage here.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Let's see, as Stim is finished up. No combat shield quite yet. It's still a little way from being done. He's already denied a lot of mining time. Those were very lined-up drones there. Oh, actually, a bunch may go down if he doesn't come in quickly enough. Oh, some of those getting so low. Another 4 or 5 workers killed. He's in a perfect little position as well to stop taking any damage. He's going to try and tear after these drones, and I think he's going to kill a lot.
Oh, really not the best angle at all. Yeah, the drones have to get in there. Oh, he mineral walks through the SCVs. Nice job getting those away, actually.
Yes.
You know, it may not help. This drop doing way more damage than it really should do right now.
Wow, and BCQT is just the beneficiary of, well, some good control, but a lot of good luck there. He killed 20 drones.
That's not so bad. He killed a ton of Zerglings, too. I mean, just the positioning of BCQT was great. The attacking for AnnYeong.Prime, not so great. Didn't really control those Lings as well as he should have. Just kind of A-moved them there and crossed his fingers as he went to do something else, apparently.
That's never a good approach.
No,
I mean,
because then you've got your hands off the keyboard, too.
Well,
so.
I kind of always have the image of Goody doing that, though. You know, there's the long-standing meme of, like, Goody. He, like, sits back, makes a cup of tea, and then clicks A, and then moves out. You know, like, he has to ponder each moment, but anyway.
He's making turrets sometimes, too.
Yes, that's true,
yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Give him some credit, come on.
And a billion Thors.
Yeah.
All right.
I love Goody. I love Mech TVZ.
It's so much fun to watch him play. It really is.
It's fun to play, too.
Yes. At some point, we need to set up a best of 21 between him and Avillo and tell people to just book their weekend.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. All right, so those Lings, again, you know, being kind of mobile as they can around the map.
Yeah. Wow, 3-kill Viking. Is he going to get a 4th?
He's going to get killed.
Boom. But he kills 4 Overlords for the cost of 1 Viking. Certainly worth it there.
Oh, there's the Hive coming up right now for AnnYeong.Prime. It'll help him continue to get those upgrades. The timing will be as such that he should be able to start 3-3 pretty much as soon as the Hive gets done. And then, you know, usually you do go into Ultralisks after this.
Sure.
And while I'm not a big fan of Ultralisks, if you can get them in just the perfect position, if the moon and the stars align, sometimes you can kill late-game Terran armies with them. But as you can probably tell, I don't have a lot of confidence in this late-game strategy.
Really? Couldn't tell.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just don't see it work out unless the Zerg is significantly ahead in a lot of cases.
Exactly. And even then, we've seen circumstances where it's kind of been thrown away.
Very few people out there can pull it off really well. I mean, Damaga is one of the people that can pull it off well. Stefano is another one.
Agreed.
Oh, big drop. Yep, another drop coming in here, and it looks like it's going to get surrounded this time, so that worked out a little bit better.
Yes, only killed 2 workers that go round.
Yep. But I don't know how good AnnYeong is at this style. I get the impression that it's a very difficult style to play.
I definitely agree with you because, you know, I mean, if you don't just have absolutely perfect positioning, if you move those Ultras through even a little bit of a choke point, they can get torn apart by tanks so quickly. It looks like BCQT is going to lose all of those units. He's going to try and get away. It looks like he does. The Infestors were just sludging their way a little bit slower behind.
Yep, so the Ultralisk Cavern on the way now for AnnYeong.Prime. And he's going to have to contend with this army. See, the problem with this, on this map especially, is that there's not a lot of places to flank, you know, unless you manage to catch them at one of the intersections.
Sure.
So you have to be kind of careful. I got to say, too, the creep spread has really been held up this game, too, for AnnYeong. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity to get that spread like he would want to.
Interesting. They're using, if I have my German right, they're using the tag, the Prime clan is here, Kirsche, which is cherry in German.
Well, there you
anyway,
go.
Random fact of the day.
Fascinating.
I suppose. But a couple more Vikings making their way out, and Overlords being picked off basically everywhere. These Vikings have proven to be very effective so far.
Yep, generally want to make some Vikings at this point in the game just to get that map control and also just be prepared for Broodlords. But in this case, it's going to be Ultras, so we see the Ghost Academy going down as well. They certainly work better against Ultralisks than Vikings do.
And we do have 5 of those Ultras coming up now, so along with Chitinous Plating, 3-3, pretty standard stuff right now, and he's going to have a very powerful army. BCQT has been preparing very well. He's got a couple of tanks sieged up at the back, and we're going to see if there's enough here. Those Zerglings are starting to go down very quickly, but now the Infestors are flooding in from behind, but they all just get tanked.
Oh, man, just a terrible engagement for our Zerg player. He attacked right where BCQT wanted him to, and BCQT may have actually just been handed this game on a silver Zergy platter.
Yeah, it looks like it, because now AnnYeong's down to 3 bases. Yeah, he's got some Ultras coming up, but they have no support right now. The tanks are propping up, and bye-bye Ultras.
Yeah, well, they do have a lot of armor, you know, and against just that few Marines and some tanks, he did manage to clean that up. But he's down to basically just 1 base right now, and you can't support Ling Ultra Infestor on 1 base. So
no, not really.
Yeah, he's going to need to get some damage done here.
He was lucky as well because the Hurt Ultra was actually not target fired after that, so the healed ones were able to take more damage, and 3 were able to attack at a time. But you're absolutely right. We've only got 1 more hatch rate coming up for AnnYeong at the moment, and he really needs at least 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. He's still making a lot more Infestors here. He's going to want to have that fungal growth trap those Marines in position while the Ultras take them out.
Sure.
But again, you know, the army just looking really small right now. He does have the supply lead, but if you look at what Empire.Beastyqt is doing right now, he's got more tanks. He's got tons of Marines. He's making Marauders as well, which with those upgrades are going to do quite well against the Ultralisks.
And he's got a 5th base. And
that helps too.
Yeah, when his opponent's only sitting on 2 and praying to get back up a 3rd, that's quite a big deal. Looks like we may see some landed Vikings here in a second, and that's actually going to be very annoying, especially because AnnYeong just took all of his units and ran them up to the top. Oh, is he actually retreating? No,
he can't. I mean, if he goes back there, he's just going to kind of waste his own time. And the Vikings actually moving back as well.
Yeah, they killed another 9 workers, though.
Yep, guess so. I feel like he could have even almost gotten the Hive in that case.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, a few Lings would have run back, and then he could have picked up then, but... All right.
Oh, well, here he goes.
Zerglings making their way around the side. A lot of them have actually fallen before doing any damage. A couple of the tanks in pop-up mode. Good Fungals hitting most of the units. We'll see if the Ultras can actually just power the way through the front. Where are the rest of BCQT's forces? I'm not actually sure, because he has taken quite a bit of damage here up the front, but it looks like he has enough on the back of the Planetary Fortress and his remaining additional reinforcements to drive his opponent away.
Yeah, I mean, usually the Zerg will be able to trade armies with the Terran more efficiently. Oh, another drop going down here, doing some more damage. But when your army is as expensive as AnnYeong.Prime's is, you really can't afford to be in battles like that. You can't afford to attack into a planetary like that unless you know you're going to absolutely crush that army.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And now, let's see here. BCQT just reinforcing so well up at the front. He is up to 172 supply once again so quickly after he had lost basically everything of his attack forces. He still has this nice squad of Vikings flying around and picking off everything and keeping complete map control for BCQT. He's also up to 77 workers, so he'll be able to replenish his army incredibly quickly. His economy just looks so good. I gotta say, man, it looks like BCQT is about to take 3 games from Prime.
I think so. I mean, he's on 5 bases right now, like you mentioned. It's going to be pretty tough for our Zerg player to come back from this. Keeping the Overlord count as low as he can. Excuse me. Those Zerglings, they actually might be able to get that planetary.
Yeah,
they got this round before the SCVs got in. The planetary is definitely going down.
Yeah, there it goes. Takes quite a few lings with it. Of course, that is a critical mining base for BCQT. He picks up the rest of his Vikings. Once again, a fungal trapping 4 of those, though. And that's just going to be recycled over and over again. Of course, those Vikings just proving to be more harassment than anything. Oh, God, a lot of units going down as those Ultras make their way across. That was so much loss there for AnnYeong.Prime.
Yep, yeah, it's getting more and more difficult for the Zerg player to find a place to engage. These little roving bands of bio, too, have just been so devastating. Obviously, this one is kind of done being devastating at this point.
Yes, it is going to go down, but still pulls his opponent's army out of position as he continues to push through the front.
Yep, plus 3 vehicle weapons getting ready to finish up for BCQT as well, so his upgrades are looking quite good now.
And we'll see if he can just kind of close the vice and push this home now as his tanks are within range of that 4th base, and that's where a lot of the mining's going down for AnnYeong.Prime. That's quite a few units out there. Looks like he throws down a few infested Terrans to draw fire from the siege tanks before running in everything else. Fungal hitting a lot of units as he wraps around from the side as well, but the Ultras are proving to be pretty fragile, and they are killing quite a bit at the moment. Looks like he may have enough to just push this army barely away, but I don't know how he's going to be able to replace that army.
Yeah, nicely done. That was a pretty good engagement. Unfortunately, his opponent's economy is just so big, he'll be able to replenish quicker, which is kind of weird seeing that happen to a Zerg, but that's just kind of the situation that we're in right now. But that was a better trade. I mean, that was kind of more what he would be hoping to do. It wasn't quite as good as it could have been, obviously, given the situation that both these guys are in. But you know, it was better than terrible. So.
And now there's some Banelings. Our first Banelings of the game, as a matter of fact, and 2 die right away to start this game. Fungal's pitting in some Marauders, but no Marines, so the Banelings still couldn't run in and engage. He wanted to trap a lot of Marines there and take them all out in one fell swoop, but wasn't able to do so.
Oh, those Marauders are so brave.
Yeah.
And so breakable, apparently. They don't have internal organs, though. It's just like the Black Knight when you cut their limbs off. Just red in the middle.
Tis but a scratch.
All right, well, those Ultralisks trying to scratch their way to victory there.
Yeah, Banelings all get cleared up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not Ravager Ultralisks, they may be, but getting pushed back at the moment now as BCQT goes up 50 supply and increasing almost 60 now, and he is going to outright deny this base, and I mean, that's pretty much going to seal the deal. AnnYeong's gonna have to tap out here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just the fact that AnnYeong wasn't able to really ever get in and do damage to the economy of the Terran player really kind of hurt him in the end. And you got to hand it to BCQT, too. I mean, just to be able to identify the situation, prepare, you know, for the Ultras and everything like that. Played it, again, you know, really well.
Yeah, Roach1 goes down, and BCQT is pushing it home for the final blow here. And last couple of structures disappearing, and it looks like he may make one final push. Running out now. Ultra has not been touched quite yet. Actually, all of the support forces went away, so the siege tanks were a little bit exposed. BCQT more worried about taking out this force up here at the top. Banelings rolling in, not doing anything to the Marauders. Rest of the units rolling back now for AnnYeong as he's trying to push his way through, but now everything else has regrouped up on the top.
Yep, that's right. Stimming everything there again. He doesn't really have any medevacs up, but doesn't really need him with the amount of units he's being able to produce right now.
Right, exactly.
AnnYeong.Prime just trying to cling desperately to life, but it's over. GG. Wow, Empire moving up 3-0 here. BCQT being a beast.